It's Mike Brennan. I'm flying solo today on this MITech News segment update. But we have one of our regulars, Kathleen Norton-Schock, who is going to be talking to us about all things Michigan Council Women in Technology. Take it away, Kathleen.
Hey, Mike. Thanks so much as always. Uh, the beginning of the spring for us always means we have even more accelerated activity, although I would say MCWT, if there's a characteristic of the Michigan Council of Women in Technology and our volunteers and our leadership and all of the people we serve, it's that we are a high energy group. So, but we do have a few announcements I'd like to chat with you about. First of all, we have begun the process of setting up um, registration for our summer camps. As you may remember, those are STEM, science, technology, engineering, math camps for girls in middle school, high school, and some even younger, depending upon which camp you're going after. And I have dates for 6 of them, and I believe 6 is what we're doing this year. We're really focusing strongly on just a few areas based on attendance several years back when we were trying to do 16, and it really became almost too much. So those dates for now are July 6th through July 10th. We will be having a camp at the Detroit, Michigan, in Detroit, Michigan, at Wayne County Community College at the College District's Northwest Campus. That will be for 4th grade to 12th grade. We divide those kids into 2 groups usually. Maybe the next time I get on, I'll be able to give you the full 5 day, or it's usually 4.5 days of training that the girls will get. Um, right now, I don't have all of but there'll be a robotics section. There always is. There will be a coding section. There always is. And obviously, given the exciting times we're working in and living in, I'm quite certain there will be some conversations around AI, if not actual training in AI. So that'll be fun. So that's July 6th through the 10th for one of them. The next one is July 13th through July 17th in Lansing, and that'll be taking place at Lansing Community College, and that's for 4th through 9th graders. July 13th through the 17th, we're having a Grand Rapids, Michigan camp at Vervent, who's one of our many sponsors in Grand Rapids, and that will be from 4th through 9th grade for 4th through 9th graders. July 20th through the 24th, there will be a Benton Harbor, Michigan camp at Lake Michigan College in Benton Harbor, and that will be for 4th through 9th graders. And then July 27th through July 31st, we'll be doing a camp sponsored by Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, back down into the southern part of Michigan, into Oakland County. And that'll also be for 4th through 9th graders. We don't have the exact location of that one right now. It'll be somewhere on the campus. But again, when and if we speak again in either May or even June, um, I'll be able to give you a lot more information, specifically about the curriculum, specifically about right now. What we're doing is we're recruiting a number of our volunteers to come and be at those camps, because one of the values of the camp is not just the curriculum and what we teach the girls and the questions they ask and their interactive activities and all the things they do, but they also get to meet women in technology of all ages and stages, right? So it's almost like a free role model kind of opportunity, and it always has been. I guess the first camp I was ever at was in 2005, when AT&T was the only sponsor we had for camps, and now we have easily 130 to 150 sponsors for MCWT in general, and some who just want to come in and sponsor camps. So that's all great, and of course we want to thank the various colleges that are allowing us to have those camps on their campuses. And right now, if you have a girl, a niece, a granddaughter, a daughter, a friend, a colleague who has a niece, a daughter, a friend, and they're somewhere from 4th through 9th grade. And as I said, for the first camp in Detroit, it's 4th through 12th grade. Have them go to www.mcwt.com. Click the link that talks about our girls programs. And you'll be able to see where you can register for each one of those various camps. So right now we're pretty much calling it Save the Dates. But most people, I know this from friends of mine, are already enrolling their kids in summer camps. So I would suggest that any one of your listeners who have a girl who would benefit from this, take advantage of it. Then secondly, as you know, another major program that our funders and sponsors and all of our events supports is our scholarship program. We are approaching $3 million in scholarships we have given to women who are either graduating high school and moving into a Michigan college or in their freshman through junior years of college and need a little help along the way. The requirements, of course, for those applicants are that they enroll, that they're a woman, a girl, young girl, or a woman. I pretty much think everybody over the age of 13 can be called a young woman who's interested in tech, who's interested, who has a GPA that's relatively reasonable in their high school or the beginning of their college levels. And then obviously they would be sending in resumes, etc. So that's all exciting, and that will open up in the fall. Again, we'll be talking about that. But the reason I mention it now is that we've made it through all of the analysis of the many, many people who applied for the 2026-2027 scholarships. And we plan to notify them in early May. So the next time we speak, whether it be May or June, I'll have the full list of everybody who will have scholarships from us. So that's excellent. We had a really, really successful Lansing meetup. It was a breakfast meetup that was sponsored by a relatively new sponsor for us, Rice.F.W Technologies. That took place in Okemos, Michigan on the 22nd. And if anybody goes to either our Facebook site or our LinkedIn site and goes down and looks, but particularly the Facebook site, we have some great pictures of the various conversations that took place, the breakfast that we offered, and the networking, and we had some really good speakers. So now let's get into our big event coming up for the spring. We are reinstituting something we ran for 15 years, and we just took a small 1-year hiatus last year, which of course is our technology executive day that we have. It's called the Executive Connection Summit. It will be taking place on Wednesday, June 3rd. It costs $150 if you are an MCWT member, and $250 if you are not an MCWT member. But of course, if you are a non-member and decide to come to see us on June 3rd and our extremely stellar set of speakers, and again, breakfast, lunch, and something in the afternoon. So there will be refreshments as well. And lots of networking in between some very inspirational discussions and some panel events. You will see the creme de la creme of tech there. But if you pay the $250 and you're a non-member, you automatically become a member for the end of 2026 to the middle of 2027. So you get a full day access to all of our summit keynotes, our executive sessions. You get to meet some amazing people. We always have an inspirational host and inspirational speakers. But on top of that, we have extremely practical people, right, who are doing all sorts of interesting things. There'll be at least 2 sessions on the application of the latest and greatest in AI to today's, but there'll also be things on cloud-based, on cloud software. We haven't given up on that, on cybersecurity, and on anything else that pretty much interests people who are immersed in tech or want to be. That will be taking place at the Vibe Credit Union in Novi, Vibe Credit Union Showplace, which we all, I think, remember as something else up till a couple of years ago. But in any case, it's very commutable for almost everyone coming from Lansing, coming from Grand Rapids, coming from Detroit, coming from Oakland County. You want to come down from the UP. If you're interested in tech, hey, it's only 4 hours. There'll be a continental breakfast and lunch, and usually at the end of the day, people get together, right? So that'll be fun. Hopefully all fun. Anyway, getting back to events, every 2 months we have a volunteer meeting. It is a cyber meeting. where people who are new to the organization or haven't yet joined but are considering it get the chance to come in and ask a lot of questions, and we talk about what the benefits of being a volunteer. I would say to anyone who joins MCWT or is a current member, if you aren't volunteering for something, you're really missing one of the greatest values of your membership. Because for me, for the 23 years I've been a volunteer, and particularly when I was physically in Michigan, that's where I developed a very, very wide network of people, and got to know people in a way you can, even with all of our ability now to work remotely, sometimes the best times are with people that you meet nose to nose, right? So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities, and I've already mentioned camp. We've mentioned scholarships. There's golf coming up in the fall. So please mark your calendars if you want to know about our volunteer opportunities. If you are a member, or even a non-member, that will be held virtually on Thursday, May 14th from noon to 1, so over a lunch hour. And if you go to www.mcwt.org, you will see where you can register for that particular event. And it's only an hour. And then Jackson, Michigan is hosting for us on the exact same day an evening event. It is a meetup in Jackson, sponsored by MCWT. It will be, I think, a very thought-provoking conversation. It will only be in person, though. This is not going to be done online. With leaders from both industry and some of the local colleges, what we call academia there. And the entire thing it's going to be taking place at Lean Rocket Labs, who I'm sure you know, Mike, because you come from the west side of the state. That's at 133 West Michigan Avenue in Jackson. And we'll be talking about AI, automation, evolving talent expectations, and what this new world is as it's being reshaped into something very meaningful for all of us, both for your career and outside of your career. So it would be redefining productivity. We'll be questioning long-held assumptions about work, right, that are being blown up by AI agents. Rethinking how, if you're an HR leader, I mean, I think this is a great session for human resources, CHROs, and everybody who works in human resources to come and join us, because we'll be rethinking how companies and organizations and even entrepreneurs hire and grow and retain their talent in this new world. We're going to be challenging conventional wisdom. I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear that MCWT often challenges conventional wisdom. That is almost part of our history and legacy, and this one will be no different. So that'll be kind of fun. Again, go to www.mcwt.org. There are 4 amazing speakers there, and one from Michigan State University, one from Lean Rocket Labs itself, one from the Michigan Department of Treasury. So that's kind of fun. You know, one of the people who manages the state's money. And then it's going to Emmy Pelletier, who's from Consumers Energy and has been a longtime member and volunteer. Then we are going to do our quarterly connect, which is for everybody, again, non-members and members. We'll be doing that June 10th. So we would ask people to also hold that open. It's another one of those noon remote sessions. Lori Koza, who, as you know, Mike, because you interviewed her, or I interviewed her, but on your show in January, will be there along with her entire leadership team and many of our board members. And we're going to do a quarterly connect. It's open to members, future members, people who just want to come and find out what we're doing. Every quarter, we spotlight a different stage of the MCWT 5-stage life cycle of the stakeholders for us. And we highlight both our programs and our opportunities and any growth opportunities that we may be looking at, or questions will then get, because it's interactive. People can start asking questions that will then give us even more insight. So it's an interactive session, only an hour over lunchtime. And again, go to www.mcwt.org and you can register for that as well.